Hey guys, Miniwargaming Dan here from Miniwargaming.com, and oh, that beard is growing in nicely. Anyways, you guys have long requested that I show off my whole army. And so, as I was doing tactica videos and different things, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna lay it all out on the table. Just, literally, just put it all out there. And you guys can see it, and I'll explain it. I'll go over some of the conversions just briefly, because there's a lot. But I like the look of my army. It's been a while since I've had it all out, and I've realized how much repair I have to do. I didn't do it just because I just want to get this out there as quick as possible for you guys. More videos, more things to watch, more awesomeness. So without any further ado, let's go take a look at the horde. I'm like, whoa, because I just dance. Dun, 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 dun. And here it is. Massive amount. Now, what you see here is collection I collected semi-regularly for about 2 years straight. And then I kind of stopped over the last couple of years. I've still had them, I still enjoy them, but I do want to get back into it, like collecting wise and increasing. And now it looks like I do have a lot, but I still do, although that is tons of boys, I can still increase the amount to make it like a full 180. I think I only have like 120 in there. I didn't count them. But also there's things like flash kits, grots, more bikes, more Burnas, more Deffkopters, and flash kits. So it's just lots of fun things to collect with that. But let's take a look at, let's go left to right. Okay, so these are my death dreads. And so this poor thing fell off, but so this is the original model, pewter. I think I almost like him the best. Awesome quality, and it's just, you don't see them very often, so they're fun to field. And then my Assault on Black Reach conversions. And this guy is one of my first conversions, so I just kind of like green stuff drill there, custom Mega Blaster, stuff going in. He's holding some Blood Angel Sergeant or something. Of course, a little Grot Buddy jumping out the back, but lots of fun. This guy I spent a lot more time on, but then he's like falls apart constantly. So I redid the legs, so it looks like he's running. Got a couple screws coming out there, Grabba Claws, another close combat weapon. That comes dragged off of there, is another close combat weapon, and a flamer. And if you open up the front here, he's wired into there. So he was a lot of fun to build. Really enjoyable. We'll put him back there. HQ choices. Again, I don't like focusing on the HQ, but we have our Shack Attack Gun that is still headless. I tried to glue it on, it just fell off. I'm gonna have to pin it or something. Big Mech, Flamer, Custom Force Field, and of course, the Weird Boy. He is so much fun. Then, for my mechanizedness, of course, trucks. I have 4. Again, I would like to collect 2 more, so I'd have 6, so I can have a complete speed freak with 6 troop choices. That'd be awesome. 2 looted wagons. Again, you have to convert these. This is from a Stug tank from World War II. I actually bought it originally for a battle wagon, and I built it, and well, you can see the size difference. So I had to make it a looted wagon, but I'm very happy with it. And of course, the Lehman Russ conversion, covered in plastic card. Put the dead crew on sticks in the back, and we're good to go. Of course, there's Fred. Fred's great. I love Fred. Say hello, Fred. Oh, he's shy. Okay. So, a couple battle wagons. Again, I have 2 more on sprue, but I want to be able to convert them, and so I'm working on them. They're gonna be shown. Maybe I'll do like a work in progress or something. But they will go. And then this is just I think it was a Russian tank, and there's like bits from all types of different kits. So I can't even tell you. But then of course tons of plastic art all over. Moving on, we have 20 Lootas, which are just lots and lots of fun. And these are one of the first models that I was able to kind of like really got in and started dry brushing more and just started caring how my models actually looked. And so they're my first models I really tried to paint well. And so it's when I really started to like painting, I started getting a little better at it. So that was fun. Then Deffkoptas, I only have 5 of them currently that are painted and assembled, and even their bases are all broken, so otherwise you'd see more. Deffkoptas are lots of fun, and again, these are one of my later models, and so I'll try to get in so you can see, but they're painted a bit better than a lot of my models. I really need to feel them more. Maybe I'll put some stills in afterwards. Moving down, now these are my first 5 originally painted models. They're the original Nobz pewter set. I remember spending hours and hours and hours trying to paint them and thinking they look so good, and then realizing that they weren't the greatest. They're still not bad, I think, for my first models. Not too bad. I don't know where the Waaagh pattern went. It's somewhere, but it is not on his stick anymore. Moving along, we have, along with the Burnas, or the Lootas, you get Burnas in the box. So buying Orc Boy's legs off eBay, you can just complete a bunch more models. And I painted them up about the same time as the Deffkoptas. So they're just awesome models. I just love them so much. And of course, a couple Madboyz, which really aren't very viable in any competitive list a lot of the time. So I barely field them, but they are awesome models as well. Moving on to my bikes. Bikes are they're just great. They take well, with red I find is so hard to paint with, but you have to put on like, 3 to 4 coats to make the red look good. And even then it doesn't look that great, so you just dry brush it like crazy and hope for the best. And so I have, how many? I think it's like about 20 bikes. Right here is, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. Have some more on the sprue. Again, I want to convert to knob bikers when I do get the chance, although more and more I've been shying away from knob bikers. Here's my conversion of Waaagh, yet to be painted. Sorry about that, guys. But he will get painted eventually. You just want like that inspiration to make it look a little more epic than everything else. And then of course this guy doing a wheelie, and his guns are strapped on differently, so he has to do a wheelie to be able to shoot. And then right here we have a pain boy on a bike for that knob biker squad. And then here is a knob with a Scorcha weapon, and lots of good times. Over here we have a Tankbuster squad, just because I thought tank hammers sounded funny, so I modeled a few. One guy with a double tank right there, another guy with it hanging over his shoulder, holding some kind of tank weapon, I don't know, and then lots of rockets, of course. I need to make some bomb squigs. Again, one of the many, many things I do need to make, and eventually will, or will not, who knows. I will. Let's say we will. Moving on, we got Assault on Black Reach Nobz. A lot of them have been modified and modeled to have power claws, so I can lead more troops of guys. And of course, Pinky the Orc. Now Pinky, he has an interesting story. I was actually in Virginia in the summer of 2009, and I was doing summer sales, and I was going on a date with I was dating this one girl, and we kept on doing, lots of different things, but she lived around there and I didn't, and I kept on doing all the date ideas. And then finally, I was just like, okay, you need to figure out something to do, because I'm all out of ideas. And I just don't want to just hang out and do nothing, or like watching a movie. That's kind of boring. And so she refused to think of anything, and so I said, all right, we're painting Warhammer. And she wanted pink something, and so I mixed some red and white for her, and she painted Pinky. And she insisted that I bring him as often as possible. And although she moved to Costa Rica or something, I haven't heard from her since. I still enjoy Pinky, he's awesome. And then the big horde of boys. I think there's around 120 in there, maybe 130. Now these right here, this group is all Shooter Boys, and this group is all Slugga Boys. As you can see, I do favor the Slugga over the Shooter, mainly because, I like to use trucks. I like to get into combat as quick as possible, although there's a lot of merit to the Shooting Boys as well. I won't get too much into tactics, but I more wish there were about 50-50. like in Split, because they're both so useful in different ways, and it really depends on your playstyle, I guess. But I do enjoy using both, but obviously the Slug a bit more. And of course, Assault on Blackreach. As you can tell, many of them modeled almost exactly the same because that's where they all came from. Stormboyz, favorite unit of all time. I got, I think, 30 of them, maybe 35, 30. And so we got the one with the Power Claw, and then see some of them have fallen off their bases. It's because of the pewter, and the pewter has to be modeled onto the plastic, which is then on the base. So that just gets silly. But anyways, in a very quick fashion, that is the orc army that is mine. I don't have any name for it. My war boss doesn't have a name because I kind of just throw him away to die every game. More of a, I know it's kind of against orc fluff, but more of independent. As you see, there's no dominating color. I mean, we do have some red in there for speed freaks, but then there's the Lootas, which are more, well, you'd be more painted blue if anything, but then there's the more speed freakish Deffkoptas that are blue instead of red. So I really like just the idea that this Waaagh is just a very small part of what it actually is, what you see, and it's so big that it encompasses all of the different factions. And when I eventually get flash kits, then I'm going to be painting them yellow. Yellow is just really hard to paint, and I'm not the hugest fan of it, but I've recently, like Andy's orcs are all yellow and they look awesome, I think. Like, well, there you go. Fred is the epitome of my army. All the different colors, all of the awesomeness, all of the greatness that is the Waaagh. So, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll try to diversify my list as much as possible to use every aspect of my army. And as I bring new units into the fold, such as, well, I have Gretchens built, I just need to paint them, and they're at home. But I'm also working on like a War Machine army, and then there's fantasy as well. There's just too much, guys. But that's it for now. Happy wargaming.